Okay. Stream is up-ish. Today is day 21, January 21st of the year of streaming and learning to code. We are at 87% through the learning JavaScript section of Codecademy, and we are continuing our adventure. Today we are on to, we finished arrays and loops yesterday. Now we're on to section 5 of 5, JavaScript and Jquery. And we've got JavaScript and the DOM. Let's do this. 16 sections, dear God. Death. Okay. We may break this up into 2 pieces, but we'll see. Alright, here we go. At the beginning of this course, we mentioned that JavaScript is the most widely used language on the web. So how can we use JavaScript on a website? So far, we've only used JavaScript in isolation, not alongside other technologies. JavaScript technically gets included with HTML and CSS, which structure and style web pages. All modern browsers know how to run JavaScript if we include it in an HTML and CSS project. JavaScript also has some special functions to help us access the code inside HTML and CSS, so that we can write JavaScript to make that output interactive and dynamic. In this lesson, we will use the concepts we've learned throughout the course to make an HTML and CSS website dynamic. Instructions: if you're unfamiliar with HTML and CSS, you can follow along with this lesson regardless. If you'd like to get a primer before continuing, try out our HTML and CSS course here. Next, continue. I don't know if they're talking about their full HTML CSS course or just the intro course, HTML and CSS part 1, which is what we did right before this course. So, next, okay. We can link a JavaScript file to HTML by including it as the source of a script tag inside of an HTML file like this. Script source JS end of script, or a closing tag, closing script tag. This line of code will link the file located at jsmain.js. You can find this file in the file navigator by clicking the file button located on the top left of the code editor. Within the navigator, there's a folder named JS. And within that folder is the main.js file. I believe they're talking about this guy here. Yes. Good. Cool. Close. By linking jsmain.js to the index.html file, we're asking the browser to run our JavaScript code each time index.html loads. We've provided you with a sample website and the corresponding HTML and CSS code. Our goal: use JavaScript to make this page more dynamic. We will add interactive features to it as we go through the lesson. In the code editor, we've loaded the files for a static HTML and CSS website. If you've never seen HTML before, don't worry. We'll walk through how JavaScript is added to an existing HTML and CSS project in this lesson. This lesson won't require you to greatly modify the HTML and CSS code itself. For a deeper dive, see our HTML and CSS course here. Instructions. Let's start by writing some JavaScript that we will soon link to our HTML document. Click the folder icon attached to the code editor. Navigate to the JS folder and open main.js. We're going to do that now. JS, main.js. Okay. Inside main.js, write alert, hello JavaScript. Copy, paste. Note, alert in JavaScript function, that will create a pop-up window with text inside it. When we link the main.js file to the HTML file, we will see a pop-up window that was generated by this code. Alert is not used by JavaScript developers in practice. However, it's useful here to demonstrate linking to files. We'll use it over the next few exercises for demonstration purposes. We're going to run. Green checkbox, nice. Let's close this guy. So 2, navigate back to index.html before the closing body tag. Create a link to the main.js file using a script tag. Once you've added it, click run. We're going to take this, copy, index, before the closing body tag, which would be down yonder. We'll drop it right here. Run. Holy look at that. An embedded page at Codecademy blah. Hello, JavaScript. Cool. Okay. Done and done. Nice alert pop-up. We just connected JavaScript to an HTML file. When the HTML document loaded, it ran the code inside main.js, which created the alert pop-up. Now let's take it a step further. Section 3 of 16. An embedded page at Codecademy blah.com prevent this page from creating additional dialogues. No. Okay, learn. The document object model, commonly referred to as the DOM, DOM, is the term for elements in an HTML file. Elements are any HTML code denoted by HTML tags, like div, a, or paragraph. Let's use the JavaScript to interact with the DOM, or let's use JavaScript to interact with the DOM. Okay. We can select an HTML element with JavaScript by selecting its class attribute, like this. Var header equals document.getElements by class name, example class name. This would find an element like this in the HTML. Div class equals example class name, blah, blah, blah. Div. Instructions. Let's see how JavaScript can select an HTML element. Inside index.html, notice that there's a div element with a class of Skillset on line 10. Okay, we got line 10 here, div Skillset. Okay, there is a div element with a class of Skillset on line 10. Let's select this element with JavaScript. Click on the folder icon to navigate to JS main. Okay. JS main. Inside the JS main, delete the alert you wrote in the last exercise. Then create a variable named Skillset and set it equal to HTML element with class Skillset. Okay. We're going to go ahead and take their example. That way we don't totally destroy this. At least I think that'll work. Unless I need to put variable in front of it, but see, they've got variable here. And in fact, yeah, I probably need variable. Create a variable named Skillset and then set it. Yeah, I'm going to need to do that. Variable Skillset equals close, run. Sweet, green checkbox, nice. Okay, 2. Under the skillset variable, use an alert to make the skillset variable's value into a pop-up. Whoa. 2. Under the skillset variable, use an alert to make the skillset variable's value into a pop-up. Okay. What we're going to do, is that it? It's as simple as that. Run. Object HTML collection. Okay. I think we missed a step. No, that worked. That's what they wanted. Shocking. Okay. We're stumbling through this with grace. Perfect. 3. Way to go. The pop-up showed that you selected an object HTML collection. True. That is very true. This confirms that JavaScript can select HTML elements. Since we can select HTML elements, we can manipulate them. Selecting and modifying HTML elements with plain JavaScript can be tricky. Luckily, there's an easier way. Click next to learn more. Okay. Next. Okay. There's that. Sidetracked. Embedded. Okay. And we're good. Good. Kosher. Nice. So, onwards. We're on to section 4 of 16. We've just covered how to select HTML elements using the syntax document.getHTML or get elements by class name. This is verbose and clunky, however. If we were to select a lot of elements this way, our code would get dense and difficult to read. Wouldn't it be nice if there were a simpler way to select DOM elements? As you might have guessed, there is. To better interact with DOM elements, we can use a library. A library is a set of code that contains useful pre-written functions that help with a certain task. A great library for interacting with the DOM is Jquery. Jquery is a library written in JavaScript. The syntax and functions it contains will help us interact with the DOM efficiently. We'll walk through a few examples in the following exercises. In order to use Jquery, we need to 1. Include Jquery in our project. Jquery library. Jquery is a library, which meant it is a set. No, why? God. No. Jquery is a library, which means it is a set of code in a file. Therefore, we will need to link that file in our HTML in order to access it. Once we link it to our HTML file, we can use its function and syntax in our JS main.js file. Once linked, we'll need to make sure our HTML is loaded before we run our Jquery and JavaScript code. This will prevent our Jquery and JavaScript code from running before the elements they select are rendered. Okay. Quite a few instructions. Okay, let's do this. Instructions 1. Hey, Topher. Hope you're enjoying your Saturday. I know I am. Just chipping away at learning Jquery, or the Jquery library side of JavaScript. Yeah. So far, I haven't burned the city down yet, so... But I think you arrived just in time to watch it all fall apart. Okay. 1. Since jQuery is a library of code, we'll need to include a link to our index.html file before we can use it. Before the closing body tag, right above your current script tag, include this code. Noted. Scripting. And we're going to drop this in here, right where they told us. There's that. Bless you. The link to the jQuery, or the link to jQuery, needs to be above the link to the JS main file, which will give main.js access to the jQuery library. No, if you're curious, you can see all the code that makes up jQuery here. You'll notice that jQuery is just JavaScript. Good to know. Clicking here. Code.stuff. That page really didn't load anything. There we go. First conquer jQuery, then the world, right? Okay, we're good. We're good. Yes, looks super interesting. Back to Codecademy. All right. So we got that in. Now we get to run. Yes, that damn alert pop-up window. Okay. 2. Now that we've included jQuery, let's get it ready to run. Navigate to JS main. There's that. JS. Main.js. Delete or comment out your existing code in js.main. Then write a function named main. The function should take no parameters and should have an empty block. We're going to look at this. Okay. Really straightforward. There's that. Let's ditch that. They said we can delete it. Topher said, bless you. Slightly delayed on my part for relaying that message, but...
Thank you.
She says thank you. Okay. Good. I feel like there's so much more to do, but there isn't. Alright. 3. jQuery has a built-in function to check if the page is ready before it will run our code. After the main function, write this code. $document.ready_main. Notice that we put main inside the parentheses of ready.main. Of ready. Main here is a callback, which means that our code will wait until the document, in other words, the DOM, is loaded or ready. When it is, then it will execute the main function. jQuery calls back to the main function, therefore it's a callback. Seems straightforward. In the event that our HTML and CSS took 5 minutes to load, this code would wait until it loaded completely before running. Cool. Alright, so let's drop this bit in. Copy. Boom. Run it. Golden. Double checks. Nice work. We are now ready to start using jQuery. Let's try in the next exercise. Next. Section 5 of 6, or 5 of 16. Okay. With plain JavaScript, we selected an HTML element with this code. Document.getHTML blah 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 skillset. Okay, right, true. We did that. With jQuery, we can select the same element with $.skillset. Fair enough. 1, we can wrap any CSS selector, like class ID or tag, with $, dot to select it with Jquery. The selectors Jquery uses are the exact same as CSS selectors. For instance, if there's an element with a class of supporting text, you could select it with $.supporting text. Another example, if an element had an ID of header, you could select it with $#header. Okay, so lots of shortcuts. So Jquery is our friend. That's what we're basically learning. 1, let's select the element with the class of Skillset, but this time with Jquery. In JS main, inside the main function, write a variable named $skillset. Set $skillset equal to a Jquery selector for the skillset. Note, it is a common convention to name variables that hold Jquery selectors with a $sign. I'm going to see their hint because there's a lot of little things at play here. You can write a Jquery selector by wrapping the class name in this code. Class name here, so I drop skillset in. Note, it is necessary to include the dot for the class names. If you were selecting an ID, it would be necessary to include the hashtag like so. Okay, so class name gets a dot, ID name gets the hashtag. So we're supposed to, inside JS main, write a variable named skillset. We're going to take you, copy. I feel like I need to write variable, but perhaps not. Skillset. Just like they had here. Death. Variable? Do I need to have the variable before function? I think I need to have the variable before. Did you write a variable named skillset in the main function? Like $skillset? Oh no, I'm so confused. Not again. $. Bad Steven. Skillset. That didn't make me feel any better. Oh no. Okay, okay. Not to worry. Not to worry. Cut. Variable. Skillset $. Okay, yes, yes, yes. Would that go inside the function, Topher, or outside the function? Like before it? I think variable skillset. I don't see any red for this, and it looks like your comment, and it's inside the function, inside your main function. Cool. I think everything seems okay now. Oh, look at that. Topher for the win. Okay, 2. 2. On the line below the jQuery selector for Skillset, write an alert on Skillset, which is just alert.blah, right? Yeah, alert Skillset. The alerts were very straightforward. Wait. They want it outside the function or inside the function? On the line below the jQuery selector for Skillset, write an alert. I'm just going to drop it here. Don't even care. Yep, green checkbox, bitchin'. The alert window shows object. This is right and means that we successfully selected the same HTML element as before, but this time using jQuery. Now let's see what we can do once we've selected a DOM element. Okay, 6 of 16. We're still alive. This is good. Mostly. Now that we can select an element with jQuery, we can use built-in jQuery functions to modify it. From here on, we will start building features into our skills website. Is that what this is? Oh, it is a skills website. I didn't even look at this for all the last 6 sections. Didn't even notice the right side of the page. The whole mic area webcam is blocking it, so anywho. From here on, we will start building features into our skills website. First off, it would be nice to make a page fade in when loaded. To make a page fade in, it must first be hidden. We can hide elements with jQuery with a function named hide. We can hide elements with jQuery like this. $mySelector hide. We attach the hide function directly to the jQuery selector. Okay. 2. The hide function will add the CSS property display none to the DOM element from the page, which will hide it. 1. We want all of our skills to fade in. So now we need to hide the skills first. In index.html, the element around all 4 skills has the class Skillset. Inside the main function, delete the $Skillset variable and the alert you wrote in the last exercise. Okay, so we're clearing out this $Skillset in the main function. Wait. No. Keep reading the instructions. I understand what this bit of code is doing right. I mean, mostly. Well, for the last section, yeah, essentially. And now this is definitely more straightforward with the hiding of the elements. Okay, where do we leave off? Then using jQuery to hide the Skillset element. Doing this by writing a selector of Skillset, then attaching hide to it with a period. Cool. So, shot in the dark hint. Yeah. I'm gonna destroy this thing. Inside the main function, delete the Skillset variable. Delete. Alert, delete. Then use jQuery to hide the Skillset element. So we're going to do $. Do this by writing a selector for Skillset, then attaching hide. So where do I put this though? Inside? Outside. We're going to do outside. Skillset. That doesn't feel good, but we're just going to go with it. Run. Holy crap, I got it. That is shocking. No one saw that coming. Okay, 2. Notice that the skills have been hidden. Hide added a CSS property of display none to .skillset element, which hid the elements. Now let's learn how to fade in. Hell yeah, section 7. Okay, we're doing good. Don't get cocky, kid. It was a Star Wars New Hope reference, episode 4. It's okay. We'll get there. In order to fade in the skillset element, we can use the jQuery function named fadeIn. True to its name, fadeIn will fade an element in over a period of time in milliseconds. It looks like this. Blah, 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 fade in 400. We must start with an element that is not currently displayed on the page. Just like before, we can attach fade in directly to a jQuery selector with fade in's parentheses. We can specify how long we want the fade to last in milliseconds. 400 is the default. The example code will fade in the example class element over 0.4 seconds. All fairly straightforward. Under the line that hides skillset element, write another jQuery selector for a skillset, then attach fade in. Your fade in should last for 1 second, 1000 milliseconds. Let's see what lovely hint they give us. Hide, fade, copy. Pretty straightforward though. Although if anyone could mess this up, I think it could be me. Let's drop that in. Run it. Da 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 da. Damn. So close. But it looks so similar to what they had. Did you write a jQuery selector for the skillset elements? Did you attach fade in to the jQuery selector for the skillset elements? Did you fade in over 1000? I feel like I did. This is like word for word what they have here. You know? You get what I mean? Right? No? Death. Yeah. We're gonna run it again, just cause I feel like I should. Do I need to, like, space it out? Drop in main function. Oh. Wait. Is in drop it in there? Inside? Aha! Topher, you're so good at this. It's ridiculous. My god. It's shocking. Also, your main function doesn't need a dollar skill set. Oh. Should I get rid of that? That was from one of the earlier exercises. Although I probably read it wrong in the earlier exercise, so, you know, either way. Next. Okay. 8 of 16. The next feature we'd like to build is making a recent project clickable. When clicked, the button should show the individual projects, and when clicked again, it should hide the projects. In order to make an element clickable, we need to write jQuery that listens to an element for every for a click event. jQuery can do this with an event listener function named onClick. This function will wait for a click event, and when one occurs, it will execute a provided function. The syntax looks like this: blah 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 on click function blah. Lovely. $.example class selects an HTML element with the class example class. Okay, sure, yes, kind of. 2. .onClick function, blah, adds a click listener to the selector. When it's clicked, the function will execute the code within its block. All right, let's see what's happening here. Our goal is to show our HTML projects when the recent project button in each section is clicked, and to hide them when we click it again. Let's start by hiding the projects that are currently there. Under your existing code in the main function, use Jquery to hide the elements with a class of projects. Okay, so inside the main function, under the existing code in the main function, use Jquery to hide projects. So we're going to take that, we're going to do this, we're going to call it projects. Oh, it can just be main. Good. I'm slacking on the chat. That is my bad. All of your code that is executing Jquery should be inside your callback function, in this case, the main function. Oh, everything? Even the stupid main thing? Probably not. Probably hide. So, copy. This is supposed to go above, like so. 1, 2, hide, projects, hide, run. Oh, I should have gotten rid of this. There we go. 2. Our elements are now hidden. The next step is to make the recent button clickable. Under the hide you just wrote, write a Jquery selector for the recent projects button. Its class is projects button, then attach onClick, provide it as an empty function on the second parameter. So, whoa, is this its own whole new beast? Our elements are now hidden. The next step is to make the recent project button clickable. Under the hide you just wrote, write a Jquery selector for the recent hide projects button. Its class is blah. Then attach the onClick and provide it as an empty function as the second parameter to on. My brain hurts. I'm nervous. Okay, this is good, this is fine. I'm going to do exactly as it says. I don't like their example because I think they're referring to the second part and not showing me the first part. But under hide, we're going to take projects, copy, hashtag click life. So we're going to do buttons, right? Okay, that's a lot of red. Here we go. A lot less red. Still doesn't like that. Why doesn't it like that? Is it the onClick? I feel like I should take this. Oh, the first part selects an element. It's easy if you break it down into smaller parts. The first part selects an element. Okay. Good, I think. Does their hint, does that function, the function in the hint, does that go inside the main function? Maybe? No. First part selects an element, then attaches our method. The element bind to the event listener in this phase. Whoa. The first part selects an element, then attaches to the on method to that element to bind an event listener to it. In this case, the click event. The second parameter of the on method is a callback function which executes when the element is clicked. Okay. So this guy goes inside the main one. That no, Whiskers, not now. Topher is on the verge of saving us, and there's no room for a kitty aboard this sinking ship. All right. There's room for one on this escape pod, and it's not you. All right. Okay. So let's do this. We're gonna get rid of this guy because it's got that stupid red dot. Clear. Down, feline. Down. Okay, there's that. That seems safe, right? We're gonna run it. I don't know if that's correct, but it seems. Yep, anything you're doing with jQuery will be inside your main function. That's good to know. Okay. Okay, kitty. It's okay. Everything will be... Oh, it's because I have it as example class. It's because we have it as example class. No. Princess, I love you. But be loved somewhere else for like 4.5 minutes. Oh my god, everything's highlighted. So it's not example class. We want dot project button. Dot projects button. Jesus, I hope that. Oh my god. Topher, you're a wizard. Right? Oh my god. That is just spectacular. That is fascinating. Okay, so 3. Now that the click listener is set up on the recent project buttons, let's make the project appear when we click them. Hell yeah, let's do that. Section 9 of 16. We have made it over the peak of the mountain. We are on the downhill slope. We are more than halfway through. Okay. To make our projects visible, when the recent project button is clicked, jQuery provides a function named show, which is the opposite of hide. To show an element, the syntax looks as such. Blah, 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 show. Right? There we go. Blah, 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 show. 1, show is attached directly to the jQuery selector. Show will change the CSS attribute display none to visible display property, therefore showing an element. Instructions, inside the click function you wrote in the last exercise, write a selector for the project's class. Now call the show function. Okay. Dot class on click function, execute this code when the example is clicked. We already have that. We just need a show function now. We're going to take this, copy, inside of it, hashtag pasties, projects. Project. Right. I don't like how it's there. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right. Running. We're running. Oh my god, I got it. Okay. 2. Click on the Recent Projects button and notice how a project now shows when clicked. Ah, Broadway move. Coming soon? Cool. Okay, so that worked. Notice there are some problems though. The projects don't hide again when you click the button again. When you click one button, all the projects show in each section. And 3, it would also be nice if the button we clicked looked selected or changed appearance when clicked. We will solve these problems in the upcoming exercises. Oh good, because I noticed all 3 of those as I immediately tried to click on all of that stuff. I was like, this website blows. But we're going to fix that. Section 10. Alright, when we click on a recent projects button, the projects show. Next, let's hide the projects if we click recent project button again. Jquery provides a function named toggle that is helpful in this situation. Toggle will hide or show an element each time it is triggered. The syntax looks like this, blah 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 dot toggle. Good. 1. Toggle can be called directly on a Jquery selector. 2. Little cat, what the hell are you eating? Yeah. How about no? How about no, Scott? What? 2. Okay. When toggle is executed, it will hide or show the element that the selector points to. You sneezing? Bless you, little cat. Yeah, good. It's a sign. Stop eating whatever you're trying to consume. We can barely make it through number 2. Holy hell. When toggle is executed, it will hide or show the element that the selector points to. If the element is currently hidden, toggle will show the element and vice versa. Okay. Only 2 instructions. Nice. Inside the click function, we wrote a selector for projects class and we called show on it. Replace the show function with toggle for projects. Okay, there's projects, there's show, we're going to do toggle, then run the code on recent, okay. Then run your code, click on recent projects buttons multiple times. Nice. Run. Ah, damn. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, cool. Onwards. 11 of 16. Killing it with the... Oh, yes. Right? That was Austin Powers. Good, good. Alright, I'm glad someone appreciates those. Okay. Little kitty never laughs at my movie references. She just keeps licking herself. Alright. Let's add one more feature. When we click the Recent Projects button, the background color and text color should change. We can toggle a CSS class with a Jquery function named toggle class. The syntax looks like this, blah blah blah, toggle class. Good. Toggle class is a function that will toggle a CSS class on the Jquery selector it's connected to. It's that she has her catnip mouse and is just completely losing her shit right now. Good. Very distracting. Okay, 1. Toggle class is a function that will toggle class Jquery selector connected to. That was a terrible sentence and citation of it. If the element has the class applied to it, toggle class will remove it. If the element doesn't have the class, it will add it. 2. Active. Active is the class that will toggle on and off. Notice that toggle class does not require us to include the period before active since it's already expecting a CSS class. Instruction 1. In CSS, there is a class dot active background 33333 white smoke. Inside the click function, toggle this class on the elements with the project button class. What? No. I'm totally tripping out right now. Inside the click function, toggle this class on the elements with the projects button class. Okay. The dot active class will make the projects button's background dark and its text light. Cool. So this is for projects button. Note, toggle class does not require a dot because dot be added to the class you provided. Within its parentheses, it's programmed to expect a class name. So it's going to be for active. It should be copy. I think it goes here, paste, and I think it's projects button. I don't know if it goes in the secondary function. I think it does. I think it does. Run. Oh my god. 2 sections. Oh no, did the Steam die? Sadness. No. I'm still going. Did the... Yeah. Stream. Did the stream die? Or is it up again? Did for me, but maybe just my side. Okay. Cool. So we're good to go. Alright. Sounds like it's working. Cool. Cool. Awesome. Alright. Onwards to section 12 of 16. Crises averted. In the last exercise, we were toggling every recent project's button instead of only the one we clicked on. We can select the specific element we clicked on with a Jquery selector, $this. The syntax looks like this, $, on click, $this. Okay. This selects the clicked element. If there are multiple elements with a class of example class, this will only toggle the class of the one that is clicked on. Notice $this does not require quotes around it since it's not a CSS class. This is a JavaScript keyword. $this behaves just like our other selectors. We can attach toggle class or toggle to in the same way. All right. Example class on click. Here's on click. It's for toggle class. So I'm just switching projects out for this. Let's begin by only changing the class element we clicked. Modify the toggle class we wrote in the last exercise to $this as the selector. Yeah, inside projects button, modify the selector to .toggle class active. I'm just going to change it to this with no period. This. Fine. Death. Why? Why does that not want to work? Is it me? Is it my fault? Why doesn't the code like me? Am I not pretty enough? What? Something's wrong. No. I'm gonna undo that. And we're gonna just modify the toggle class we wrote in the last exercise to use the $ this. Is it something like that I add? Look at that. $ this toggle class. This is a string. This is a JavaScript keyword. This, in quotes, is a string. Okay. This is a keyword, and I'm an idiot, so you're gonna have to break it down one more step. Explain it like you're explaining it to little kitty. Isn't that right? You don't understand JavaScript either. Alright, okay. Let's do this. So, inside the projects function, modify the selector attached to, do I do dot this $5 this versus oh no quotes, right, gotcha, it was me. The syntax was terrible. I left the quotes. Look at that. Run it. Topher, you salty dog. Always coming in for the win. Love it. Alright. 2. Now click on Recent Projects button within each section and see that only the button you click on will toggle its class. Next up, let's toggle the projects in the section we clicked on instead of toggling them all. Beautiful, beautiful. Good times. Look at, you're shaking the light and everything on the desk. One uses a JavaScript keyword, the other uses a string. Yes, a lesson in context and syntax. Duly noted. All right. I should be doing note cards or something. I feel like I should be doing note cards or making note of all these. Helpful tips and tricks. Section 13 of 16, we are nearing the end, slowly but surely. In order to toggle the projects in each section, we will need to use the $this to select the button we clicked on. The issue is that with $this refers to the project button in our current code, and not the projects themselves. We need a way to select the project's elements next to the button that we clicked. Luckily, Jquery can select elements logically. In index.html, notice that the projects button element is directly followed by the projects list, therefore projects element is next after it. Jquery has a function named next to help us select elements that are next to another element. If we have this on our HTML, div item 1, div class item 2. If we want to hide item 2, we could write blah 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 next hide. 1. We can attach next to any Jquery selector to select the next direct element. Then we can attach Jquery functions to the next blah. In this case, we attached hide, which would hide the next element after the $.item1 element. Oh, I am so gonna mess this up. It's gonna be spectacular. Okay. Let's do this in style. Inside the click function, let's modify this line. $projects.toggle. Instead of selecting all project elements, use $this and next to the project, then attach toggle on the end to toggle the project's page. So it would look like this. I'm basically going to take that code, so I'm going to copy it. Are you studying for fun or for school or what? Just a handy life skill like knitting or, basket weaving. There's not enough small home repair Vikings or bread making Vikings. That was a How to Train Your Dragon reference for movies. Yeah, so no, the whole Codecademy thing and the whole year challenge that I've set myself up for is I wanted to get more into the whole Twitch scene, but not just Twitch in itself. I've avoided all social media for the last 26 years. But I kind of wanted to start a company, and I just realized recently as I was thinking about it, I don't know if I have a business model. I guess I wanted more of a company or that company presence. So that's just a new realization I had. So not so much a business. I mean, ideally I can do whatever, but that's besides the point. So in setting up a company, all companies now have social media presence, and it's so easy to create your own business or a company. Having a Facebook and a Twitter and an Instagram, I mean, that's really all you need, or a YouTube page. So I just kind of dove into everything, and Twitch seemed like the most fun out of all the new social media networks or social networking sites. And it just seemed like a good place to interact with people and kind of the lifeblood of the company or the business. Because right now I don't have any one particular area if I do make a company or create a business that I want to commit to. I like cars, I like music, I like movies, video games, and there's enough cross-section, especially in video games. There's racing games and all kinds of other stuff. But Twitch just seemed like it was just such a great mix of all those. And I went to TwitchCon, and that was incredible. Especially all the Twitch creative stuff that they've added, which is what I'm in now. I got one of the Elgato HD 60S capture cards for my computer to stream all my consoles. But my current computer, I'm using a Mac Mini, and it's an older Mac Mini from 2011. It just doesn't have the horsepower to deal with it. It's got an old dual core processor. So plus Mac doesn't really blend well with a lot of the PC friendly components Elgato's products. So I was trying to find things that I could stream. I'm just trying to make do with what I have. I've built my whole social media foundation, which was all free stuff. Even things it's just one guy. I've got 4 or 5 followers. But if you notice in my Twitch profile, I've got the merchandise tab, which I need to add to. There's no reason to have shirts right now, but I was just building on all fronts. I like diving into stuff and learning ground up everything, tinkering. So I want to do Codecademy. I actually started chipping away at Codecademy years ago, but I went on this 16-20 hour binge of coding straight. It was close to 24 hours, and I made my own text adventure. But I always wanted to keep coding in 16, 20, 24-hour plus long binges, and that's just not realistic. People have work and school and all that. So yeah, I didn't really code for a long time, so I went through, and at the start of this year, in making do with what equipment I have, I was trying to find things that I could stream that wouldn't tax my computer too heavily, and Codecademy is one of the things I can stream. And doing the daily thing just keeps me busy posting content to Twitch. I can archive my movies to you, or the videos to YouTube. Like, it's just a good flow of everything, like getting hands-on and getting used to the environment. And I can stream games directly from my Xbox One, so it's just kind of a nebulous shitstorm that I've been concocting and working on. But that's why I'm doing this. So there's no real set goal or even a set due date. It's just kind of finding a way to constantly hack away at it. And I do like learning stuff ground up. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I like starting at level 0 and exploring everything. Probably a longer answer than you were expecting, but that's what's going down. You've got a MacBook Pro and it has trouble streaming. Yeah, because the GPU gets too hot. I don't have a GPU. I mean, it's got the integrated one into the processor. The Intel, is it Iris, I think? But I don't have a dedicated graphics card, so meh. Oh, what now? Onwards. We were going to take this bit of code and drop it in somewhere. There is now a level 0. Kung Fu Panda. Yes, I am very familiar with that exact scene. That's funny. I am level 0. Okay. Where did we leave off? Hint. This refers to the project button element. Select the projects element right after the DOM. We can use the next function. This will select projects element corresponding to the button we clicked. Then by adding the toggle function, we can toggle the projects in and out of the page. Where do I put this? Inside the function, let's modify this line, projects.toggle. So I'm dropping in the hint code over this. We're changing projects for this.next. Run. Autocorrect. Didn't even notice the King Fu Panda. All I saw was Kung Fu. Selective vision. 2. Sweet. Green checkboxes. When you click the recent buttons now, only sections buttons will toggle. Nice work. This page is really coming together. Let's add 2 more features. Beautiful. 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 Nice. Oh, 14 of 16. Thank God. Nightmare's almost over. It's been so long, little kitty even left. Can you believe it? Okay. Since we have a few areas to click on, it may be helpful to show users which sections they have viewed by changing the text inside the Recent Projects button. When a user clicks on a button, we will permanently change the text of the button to Projects Viewed. We can change the text of the element with the Jquery function text. Its syntax looks like this. My selector text, hello world. Text attaches directly to Jquery. 2. Inside of the text parentheses, we can provide the text that will become the text of our DOM element. The text we supply will replace any existing text, and if the element has no pre-existing text, text will be added to it. Whew. Okay, 1. the projects button click function under the toggle class. Within the projects button function, under the toggle class line, write Jquery to change the text button to say project viewed. Use your knowledge of this to select the button that was clicked, then use text to change the button. Oh, they're gonna ask me to try and do it myself. This is scary. Okay. Under the toggle class line, write Jquery to change the text of the button that was clicked to say. So we're gonna do this. Literally, my selector, ditch the quotes, this to projects viewed. B, run. I got that right first try. Oh my god. Can you believe that? That is freaking incredible. Now click on the recent project buttons and notice that they now turn to projects viewed after each click. Very nice. Aha! How you like that? View this, right? Maybe that's a bit much. Okay, next. 15 of 16. The last feature we'd like to add is an aesthetic one. Oh, they're getting picky. They're getting greedy. Right now, when we click the recent projects button, the projects appear instantly. Instead, make the projects slide on the page when we click the recent projects button, and then slide off the page when we click the button again. They're really digging deep on this. Jquery provides a method named slide toggle and can animate an element's entrance and exit. Syntax looks like this. Side note, I am shocked at how powerful JavaScript is. Holy hell, you can do a lot with this. Talk about bringing a web page to life. S example class slide toggle 400. Where does the 400? Oh, that's how long it takes. Okay. One slide toggle can be called directly on a Jquery selector. 2 slide toggle also takes a parameter of milliseconds that the animation should last. The default toggle is 400 milliseconds or 0.4 seconds. Instructions. 1. Let's make our project slide in and out, giggity, when we click on the recent projects button. Inside the click function, delete or comment out this line in your code. What? Why? Inside the click function, which is this guy. I'm going to space this out, actually. Probably not necessary. Probably should have done it a while ago, but now I did it. Okay. Well on your way to becoming Jquery Ninja. Yeah, Jquery Clumsy Ninja. This is going to take a lot of time and effort training this ninja. Okay, so inside the click function, delete or comment out this line of code. This next toggle, which is this guy. This line can prevent the slide toggle from working properly since it's also affecting the showing and the hide behavior of the project elements. Then select the projects element of the button that is clicked. Use slide toggle on the selector to animate its appearance on the page. You should utilize this to get the element that was clicked, then use next to get the project element, then attach slide. Okay, I want to believe you. I think I put this at the bottom after text or before? Maybe I just get rid of it. Oh, I just got rid of it. Son of a bitch, what did I have? Oh, it was just this, right. I forgot there was no class. Okay, we're running. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts. Death. There's a disturbance in the force. Did you attach the next function to this? No. Oh, yes, I did not attach the next function to this. Huh. What do you know? Fairly straightforward. That doesn't look pretty either. Period? No? Next? Double period. There we go. Maybe. Fingers crossed. Boom! You see that, little kitty? That's how it's done. Recognize. This goes out to all the players out there getting their slide toggle on. Get that? Like side hustle, but it's slide toggle. We've reached the bottom of the joke list after 15 sections. On to section 16. Congratulations, hot damn, look at that. Code achievement. Congratulations on completing the course Learn JavaScript. You've learned a new skill and should be proud. Want to take a look at your profile and see what you've accomplished? I would love to. I also want to finish reading that page, but this isn't going to go away without me clicking on it. Getting it slid in and out nice and slow. Yes, yes. Topher knows what's up. Alright, see your achievements. What did I achieve? We're going back 2 skills down. JavaScript and HTML, CSS Part 1. If I were a chef, this is the equivalent of making cereal and toast. So, this is good. Hey, 207 points, 33 badges. Look at that. Look at that. Lovely. Okay, there was actually more going on in section 16, which we didn't get to read. We spent all that time. We should really conquer it. And we go next. You know what? They've got this lovely chart here. We can just go to 16. Jump straight to 16. Okay. Nice work. Jquery is a complete library, and we've only covered the basics. If you're interested in adding animations to websites and creating more dynamic elements, take our Jquery course here. Noted. In this lesson, we learned how to link a JavaScript file to an HTML file using a script tag. Jquery is a library to help JavaScript interact with HTML elements. We can make sure our page is ready to go with $document.ready. Then we can pass in a function toReady that will execute when the page is loaded. Jquery uses the same selector names as CSS. We can hide elements with hide and show them with show. We can make elements appear with fade in. On click, functions allow us to make HTML elements clickable. When an element is clicked, the click function will execute the function we provide. Its full syntax looks like this. $example, on click function, blah. Toggle will toggle an element on and off the page. $this will select specific elements that was clicked if placed inside a click function. Toggle class can toggle a class on and off. We can select elements next to each other with next. Text will replace a DOM elements text with text we specify. And slide toggle will make an element slide in and out of a page with an animation. Impressive work on completing Learn JavaScript. We never actually saw the lovely look at the slide we implemented. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what streams are made of. Technically, web pages are made of, so, you know, to each his own. The next JavaScript course, Intermediate JavaScript, is coming soon. In the course, you'll learn how to write full-fledged programs in JavaScript. Until then, try our Jquery course to make websites more dynamic or start building applications with JavaScript with our AngularJS course and our React course. AngularJS and React are two application frameworks written in JavaScript. With them, you'll be able to create web applications. Congrats again on your progress in completing Learn JavaScript. Hot damn. What is there? Some lovely thing at the bottom. Hold on. What is the likelihood that you would recommend Codecademy's Introduction JavaScript to a friend or a colleague? I'm going to do 10. I am most likely this course. Can't do like course was super awesome. Double exclamation. Capital this. Send. Thank you. No, thank you. Danke. It's good. Alright, up next. I think we are up out of here for today, but what is the next thing on the list? I think the next thing will be learning Sass, but we will cross that bridge tomorrow. No, Topher, we aren't. They would be tons of fun, but I'm gonna be powering down the stream, so this is where we end. But I do believe I'm gonna be going into Sass. I think learn Sass tomorrow. Yeah, expand. I think I'm just gonna go through and follow all of this. Basically in order. I did an earlier stream going through kind of researching. They've got all these different resources. They've got like a free like class syllabus or course syllabus for teachers who are interested in using Codecademy for their classes. And it kind of goes through in general like what it teaches and what it starts off with and where they end up. There were additional resources like Q&A stuff, different web pages, and the About Codecademy, where they go through like if you're learning for business or for education and other things like that, and different articles on do you want to be a front-end developer or back-end or full stack, and a lot of at least how they had the courses listed, comparing them to each other, they all kind of followed a general path or order, and I pieced them all together, and it was basically the same as going through all of these. So I'm just going to kind of chip away at them one at a time. But yeah, that's about it. So thank you again for all your assistance. That would have been an even longer 16 sections had I had to face that all by my lonesome. So way to go. You rock. And yeah, I will be here for the rest of the year. 21 days down. Tomorrow's day 22. And 300 plus something more days to go. You would suggest doing HTML and CSS before. Fascinating. Noted. I'll keep that in mind. I may peek at the SAS course, but that's good to know. Yeah, because I don't think these are in any special order, but we'll get there. In the end, I want to conquer all of this, so that's my goal for Codecademy, separate from my whole plans of building my tiny empire. For Codecademy, it's just to conquer the whole website, everything. All right. With that said, I'm backing out. We are closing this. And we're going to close out of OBS. Night, Topher. I'm sure I'll see you again. And little kitty? Oh, you're asleep. You want to say bye? No? Yeah? Look at that. Okay. Fingers and claws. Alright, we're done. We're killing it. Stop stream? Hell yeah.